Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Welcome to Wake and Stretch. Wake and Stretch. Apparently my mouth is not awake yet. Wake and Stretch. There it is. On this beautiful day. What is today? Friday, the 22nd of May. So if you're not here yet, welcome. The future looks bright. Literally, the sun is shining. We have some intermittent rain showers today, so it makes it very tropical, which is pretty cool actually. So this morning, feeling a little achy in the hip and lower back area. Not really sure why. Maybe it was yesterday's practice. Don't know. So I'm going to give a little bit of attention to that, albeit today will probably be another brief session, starting seated with some breath work. Well, and I say breath work, I kind of really mean meditation. Focusing on the breath. How about that? Does that work? That works. So if you've not joined me before for this Wake and Stretch, what this is a opportunity to show up and say hello and practice together. So I'm going to take it a little bit easy today in this morning session. And there goes Lokey. Oh, okay. My dogs are already ready. They're looking to get on my mat. So I think that's all I need to say for right now. I'm going to hop on the mat. If you're going to join me, come on the mat. So finding a comfortable seated position. Whatever that means to you. Sitting up nice and tall through the spine. If you need to give a little shake through the shoulders, give a little wiggle to get comfy, then go ahead and do so. Hands can rest on the thighs or stacked in your lap, whatever makes you comfy. And let your eyes close and start to focus in on your breath. Nice gentle breath. No need to change it or adjust it. Just simply settle into your natural rhythm. A natural rise and fall. Notice where your breath is moving through the torso. If it's primarily up in the lungs, see if you can move it down a little bit towards the belly. When we move the breath to the belly, it becomes a little bit more grounding in its sensation. This doesn't mean that you're not breathing into the lungs, of course. It's kind of really impossible to not breathe through the lungs. But we can shift our breath from the upper to the lower, down by the belly where the diaphragm is. If it doesn't feel quite natural for you, it's okay, just take your time. There's no rush. Just a few more breaths here. gradually start to blink open the eyes if they were still closed. And from here, let's just give a nice stretch. So arms can come up over the head, interlace the fingers, stretching through the body, arching the spine, maybe tilting side to side. Whatever you need to do to help wake up the body. Arms can come forward. If you want to sweep them back and give a nice arch to the back, go for it, whatever you need. If you need a little shoulder stretch, a little deltoid action, sweep the arms across the body. Some shoulder rolls, little baby twists, whatever you feel you might need. All right, so I'm gonna come into child's pose from here. I'm spreading out my now clean cloth because I didn't have the opportunity to wipe my mat down yesterday after the muddy mess. So moving into child's pose from here. From here, gently coming up onto hands and knees. And I'm going to come into a pigeon pose of sorts here. So this pigeon pose, the leg will be a little bit more parallel. So I'm going to start with extending the right leg back. Then from there, sliding the knee forward and giving just a little bit of an outwardly rotation, nothing too dramatic. And inching down. And again, I'm not going into my deepest stretch, just easing in. If it's too much on the lower back, then fold forward. And if you're folded forward, gently come up onto the hands, tuck the back toe, lift the hips, swing the right leg back, find plank for a few breaths. And then taking the left leg forward for pigeon, slightly outwardly rotating the leg. Finding the stretch to the outer hip and thigh, and either stay upright if that feels good for you, or fold it forward. Be mindful that the head and the neck are supported either by a prop if you want to relax it down, or keep the energy going through the spine so that you're not just hanging the head down with no support. One more breath here. And gently bring yourself up onto your hands, tuck the back toe, find plank, and find downward facing dog. Just for a little moment, for a small moment, for a wiggle, whatever you need moment. And lifting the eyes, stepping forward, lifting halfway up into your Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, fold it into inhaling, reverse swan dive, coming all the way up through vertical. And then exhale, hands come to the heart. Taking a nice breath here. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, hands come to the heart. I'm going to take the right foot and step it back about halfway to come into goddess pose. So the heels are slightly wider than the hips. Arms are going to float out to star pose. And then as you exhale, bend the knees and the elbows. Inhale, straighten the legs and the arms. Exhale, bend it down into goddess. If you're one of my dancer friends, then it is a grand plie. Bending and lowering down. Inhaling as you lift up. Exhaling into goddess. Inhaling and lifting up. One more time. Bringing it back up to vertical. From here, moving into warrior two. few days, Warrior 2 seems to be my happy place. I'm going to try to nudge Zeus out of the way with my knee nice and gently so I can find my Warrior 2. Hey, buddy. Arms can go wherever you'd like them to go. Just trying to find some energy in this top leg, letting it energize. Then inhale, straighten the leg. Let's find a triangle pose. Inhaling, coming back up through vertical. Exhale, find that Warrior 2 again. Inhale, straightening the leg. Exhale into triangle pose. Inhaling up through vertical. Exhale, bend the knee. Warrior 2. Inhale, straightening up. Exhale, triangle pose. Let's go one more time. Inhaling up. Exhale, Warrior 2. Inhale up, exhale triangle, and we'll stay here for a bit. Inhaling, coming all the way up through vertical. Excuse me. Exhale, hands to the waist. Rotate the toes, find Warrior 2 on the other side. So left leg in front this time. Taking your time to ease into it. And then inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling, finding triangle. Inhaling, floating up. Exhaling, Warrior 2. Again, the arms can go wherever you'd like them to go. Inhale, straightening the leg. Exhale, triangle pose. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, Warrior 2. Inhale, vertical. Exhale, triangle. One more time, and then we'll stay in our triangle pose. So inhale, coming up. Exhale, bending. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, triangle pose, and stay. Inhaling, coming all the way up through vertical. Exhale, bend both legs, step up to the top of the mat. Give it a nice shake out through the legs. And from here, let's find Tadasana. We'll move it into Lord of the Dance. Now again, I'm going to take this a little bit more on the shallow side, but I'm doing this to invigorate the core and to get a nice stretch through the quad muscle. So I'm not really looking for the back bend, although it will naturally happen. Inner thighs together, knees come together, belly pulls up and in, shoulders roll back, front ribs close. There's a lot of cues right there. You can extend the left hand out in front of you, palm up or down. If you'd like to mudra, feel free to mudra. Keep pulling the belly up. If you want more, if you want to go into full Lord of the Dance, you can start pressing the foot into the hands. I'm going to keep it shallow for now, but you go where you want. But from here, releasing the hand off the foot, find Warrior 3. Bring it back up through vertical. Let that right thigh come all the way up towards the chest. Hold on to the shin bone, gently pull it up and in. And then gently lower it down. Give a nice little shake out. Walks right over my clean towel. Shifting your weight over into the other foot, finding Lord of the Dance on the other side now. Inner thighs pull together, belly up and in. Ribs pull together. Right arm can extend out in front. Now this is a nice counterbalance. It's okay if you want to leave it on the hip, or if you just want to do like a little walk like Zeus, walk like an Egyptian arm in front of you, that is okay too. But it's a counterbalance for this back leg. So moving into your Lord of the Dance, however however deep you'd like to go. And from here, letting the foot release, moving into warrior three. Oh wow, the dog's right underneath me. Didn't even realize that. Zeus. That's not cool, buddy. Ugh. And inhaling, coming up through vertical. Bring that left leg all the way up to the chest. Exhale as you squeeze it in. Gently release the foot down, give it a little shake. Work it out a little bit. These dogs, man, I think they think these mats are for them. All right, so let's make our way back down to the mat. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, diving it forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Step it back to plank if you can, unless you have a big German Shepherd on your mat. I move through your vinyasa, or go to down dog or child's pose. Zeus, you need to learn to share better. So resting in your child's pose. Stay there for a few more breaths. And then from your child's pose, come up into tabletop onto hands and knees. And gently find a seated position. So sitting up nice and tall, let the legs extend out in front. We'll make our way into Paschimottanasana. So sitting up nice and tall, make sure you feel your sit bones in the mat. If you feel like you're falling backwards, slide something underneath your sit bones so that your pelvis can sit upright. You ready to Paschimottanasana? That's what I thought. So letting the arms extend, again, the belly is nice and lifted, and then exhale, fold it forward. Hands can hold on to whatever you can reach. Getting a nice stretch through the legs, maybe the lower back a little bit. Just make sure you're not working into pain. We want a nice stretch, but no pain. On your inhale, lift the head, come all the way up to vertical. Exhale where you need, and we're going to take the right leg and cradle it. It's one of my favorite things to do to help open up the hips. Give it a little rock from side to side. Well, from here, let's take a seated pigeon. I know we did a full pigeon before, but it was a little bit more narrow as far as the placement of the thigh bone. So right ankle over the thigh. Hands come behind, step up the bottom foot. So we're getting a little deeper into the stretch this time. Now we've moved around a bit. Gently releasing the leg down, the left leg that is. The right leg, let's take it into Jahn Shirshasana. So the bottom of the foot will come to the inner thigh. Sitting up nice and tall. So your foot's kind of like in tree pose. Excuse me. Give a little spiral to the left, and then fold directly over the thigh. This targets the hamstring, the lower back on the right side, and the right hip. If your right ankle is bothering you, flex the ankle. It'll lift your ankle bone off the mat or off the floor. On your inhale, come all the way up through vertical. Exhale, gently release that right leg out. You can give a little shake here, a little wibble wobble with the feet. And then take the left leg, bring it into a cradle, a little rock from side to side. And then cross that ankle over the thigh just above the knee. Come into seated pigeon. Being mindful of what this side needs compared to the first. It might have to be more intense or less intense. Once you find it, just breathe into it. Gently release the right leg so it's straight. Left leg comes into Janushirshasana, bottom of the foot to the inner right leg. Sitting up nice and tall, give a little twist, and then fold it forward. On your inhale, lifting the head, exhale, gently release. Bringing that left leg out in front. Give a little shake, a little rock, a little pop. And then from here, let's move it on to the back. Now that I have my mat back from Mr. Zeus, I can actually lay down. Okay. So I'm going to take a little constructive, actually no, you know what? I'm going to take a little windshield wiper action here. So my feet are about the width of the mat apart. Just gently rock from side to side. This provides a little extra movement for the outer part of the hip and the thigh, giving the thigh bone an inward rotation, which is not something that we practice often. And when there's so much outwardly rotation of the thigh, it's nice to oppose that and go the opposite direction. It's all about balance, right? Once you've done both sides equally, come back to your neutral. Walk the feet underneath the sit bones. And from here, ooh, I didn't say to have these, but if you have your any props with you, if you have a pillow nearby or a blanket that you can roll up, let's take a nice restorative bridge pose. So the feet stay where they are. You're just going to lift the hips, take your prop, slide it underneath your sacrum, the flat portion of your pelvis, and then let your hips rest on whatever prop you have. If it's too low, add more. If it's too high, then of course make it less underneath your hips. I don't know how deep I want to go today. So sometimes this is really painful on the lower back, and if that's true for you, then just take a normal bridge pose. You don't have to rest on the prop, because sometimes activating the muscles is less painful than just letting it relax. Our bodies are funny sometimes. If you are up on the prop, then you may feel some sensation through the hip flexors. You may feel it in the lower back. Hi, Zeus. Hi, dogs. And if you'd like more sensation, you can always lengthen out your legs for more of a Setu Bandhasana. Dog, stop! If you don't want the Setu Bandhasana choice, then you can always lift the legs and come into a restorative shoulder stand. This is a nice option too for getting an inversion without the effort. And the legs, it doesn't matter if they're straight, if they're pulled together, if the ankles are flexed or pointed, whatever you want to do with the legs up there, as long as the toes are the highest point, you're good. And then from there, gently lowering the feet down. Stay in bridge for a couple breaths. Then gently lift the hips off your props, move the props out from underneath you, and slowly lower down the hips. And just lay flat for a few breaths. Let the spine neutralize in its own time. And bring the arms out to the side to a T again. Walk the feet to the width of your mat and gently windshield wiper. No eating my mat, Zeus. And then from there, let the legs straighten out. You can take your Shavasana. As I get my toes licked by the dog. Thanks for the kisses, bud. Oh, yes. Make yourself comfy for Shavasana. You can place a blanket over yourself with the eyes closed. Whatever it is that you need to do for yourself. And take rest. So if you'd like to stay in your Shavasana a little longer, feel free to. I'm going to ease my way out of my Shavasana now. Deepening the breath. Finding energy in the fingers, toes, wrists, and ankles. Give a nice stretch through the body from fingers to toes. And then hug the knees in towards the chest. Give a little rock from side to side here. And roll onto your right side into fetal position, using the bottom arm as a pillow for your head. And gently press yourself up to a seated position. Eyes closed and hands either pressed together at your heart or one hand on your heart and one on your belly so you can connect with the breath. Take a few moments and check in with your breath and your body. See what feels different after this gentle practice. And give a few moments of gratitude, something that you're thankful for right now, in this very moment. Day. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. So I hope that this nice gentle practice eases you into your weekend. Yeah, so I hope you're feeling good. If you're watching this and you liked it, please give it a share, give it a like and a share, and share it with somebody who you think it might help. And I guess that's about it, huh? It's fun listening to the nature here, isn't it? All the birds. Anyhow, have a beautiful day. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.